Today I fucked up by making my husband think a threesome, FMF, was waiting for him when he got off work. So this happened last night. Let me start with this. My husband works graveyard and we've been happily married for 7 years. We are high school sweethearts. I grew up knowing the things he loves from home. And one thing he loves from his childhood is a dessert called Grandma Ella cookies. They are Ritz crackers with peanut butter covered in chocolate. I grew up in a household where sweets weren't the norm. I'm a wicked baker and I make cakes all the time, but like us just for the two of us it's not often. Why do you need to know this? It'll make sense below. About 2 weeks ago I was saying goodbye to him as he headed off to work. I was thinking about how much I love him and how much he does for me. And I realized in the 7 years we've been married I've never made him Grandma Ella cookies. And it's due to my upbringing. I just don't think about sweets. And he could make them sure, but cooking isn't a skill. It's something his mom used to make all the time. And I have the recipe from the family recipe book I was gifted when we got married. So I started planning. I wanted to surprise him with a plate of cookies when he got off work, because I mean it's been years for him. He hasn't had these cookies in years and it's because of me. So I made them last night. I was so excited. And I love surprises and gifts because of my love language. Problem is that I always spill the secrets. But I was determined to keep this secret. So before I went to bed I texted him, "I have a surprise for you when you get off work." He replies, "Oh really?" And I say, "Yes, I realized that there's something you haven't been able to have because you're married to me. And I feel bad." He says, I can only see the positive being married to you, and I can only see negatives without you." So I tell him that I'm gonna keep it a secret because I'm super excited of it. And that when he sees it, it'll make sense. Here is where I fucked up. After about 10 minutes later I also texted him that I was feeling randy and was hoping when he got home we could have sex. And he agreed right away. But then I sent him some sexy gifts. I ended up going to sleep, but then woke up a little earlier than intended and sent him more gifts. The cookies were already in his game room, so my part was done. My husband came home and found the cookies and then asked me, "Is this surprise?" And I said yes. He then looked at me and said, "I like the cookies, but I want you to think. How do you think I took texting?" I was like, "I'd telling me it's something I haven't had. What's something I can't do because we are married? What I would never do?" I thought for a while and then a light bulb went off. I was like sleeping with another girl. Ooh. He was like, "You then talked about having sex and then sent me sexy gifts." I was thinking at work, no. She wouldn't. Would she? But what about the kid? We foster. Maybe he went to a sleepover. But COVID? I just started laughing uncontrollably. I felt so bad. And he laughed too. He, of course, thought the cookies were awesome and ate all of them. But now I think maybe I better set something up. Ha ha ha. TL, drive. I made special childhood cookies for my husband, but because of my awful texting skills he thought he was coming home to a threesome and all he got was a plate of cookies. Edit. Just to be clear, my husband doesn't ask me for these. He's never even mentioned them. So everyone who's like he can make them himself. He wasn't even asking for them. And it's also not regular chocolate. It's almond bark. So a bit harder than just microwaving. Yes, my husband could make them. He doesn't care that much about them. I'm just a caring wife that likes to make dessert. I once drove 100 miles for a plate of cookies. Dudes will do a lot when they think they're going to get laid. I only got cookies, but I did see cabin in the woods also, so that was cool. When in doubt, a man's mind will go to sex first, then anything else. I should have assumed. When he told me I just laughed. I felt so bad. Thanks for the cookies, babe. So, looks around, let's go spank the naughty wench who baked these. Or, wholesome, sexy, and chocolate covered all in one story. It's great that you two love each other so much and you accidentally sexy trolled your hubby. I don't understand why he couldn't have them because he was married to you. Would you have stopped him from buying or making them himself? Oh, good question. He could definitely make them himself. He wouldn't, though cooking isn't his strong suit. And I don't make them just because I don't like sweets. Due to my background, I don't think about it. And I don't know if they make them in stores. That would be interesting to know. Today I fucked up by not speaking clearly during sexy times. My wife and I are both in our 30s. We are very much in love, in sync, and enjoy the same things. We are still very into each other even after 17 years of marriage. We communicate very well, we share the same interests and make each other laugh daily. I say all that to show that whoopsies can happen to anyone, and the best thing you can do is embrace them and let them become a fun story that you laugh about later. This is one of those stories. This happened just 2 weeks ago and still makes me cringe. My wife and I were enjoying some late night shenanigans. Of course, when you have children in the house, even if they are asleep, you try to be somewhat quiet. I don't want to be the parent that traumatizes their child for life. So we were trying to be quiet when we spoke, sometimes failing in that. Without getting too much into detail, I was taking a turn at being more controlling during this event. So I was doing my bit, and in the midst of the finale I said something to the effect of, "Oh yeah, you like this, don't you?" She replied with a yes, but that wasn't enough of an answer for me, so I said, "Oh you do?" Stopped moving / then begged for it. Credit to her, she didn't miss a beat, and must have assumed what I really wanted, because everything went off without a hitch, and I was none the wiser to the perceived horror that had just been uttered to her delicate ears. After we were done, she just looked at me and said, "I must have misheard you there at the end. What on earth did you say to me?" Of course my awkwardness shows up now that my confidence has fled along with the extra blood flow. I told you to beg for it. Cause, you know, controlling, assertive confidence and whatnot. She stares at me for a moment and starts laughing, the deepest, truest laugh I've ever heard. That makes way more sense than what I heard. She says, apparently in the midst of everything, and trying to also be quiet, and, I would argue, a lack of blood flow to my brain, I mumbled beg for it, and she heard, big fart, big fart. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. My gorgeous wife, my delicate rose, the love of my life for the last 17 years, in the throes of passion, thought I asked her to blow deep from the horns of battle and blast my balls with an airy hug of love. To be clear, no shame to those of you out there who are into that. That is wonderful and you do what you do. I, however, am not. And if she had consented to my taboo request, I would have been mortified. So I suppose just being a bit embarrassed is best case scenario. At random times throughout the day or week, she will randomly say big fart, smile really big, and walk away. God, I love that woman. Too long didn't read, mumbled during sex. Said beg for it, wife thought I asked for a big fart. Edit, thanks for the awards, anonymous strangers! Exclamation mark. This was amazingly funny. Thank you, and you're welcome. Hey, at least the two of you have a ridiculous inside joke now. You could tell her your stomach doesn't feel very well and you think you might have to beg for it in public, around strangers who would look at you funny. God, that would be fun. Ha 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 ha, yes. This is exactly the kind of inside jokes we love. As someone that is dead as a post, I've had similar issues. My partner and I have definitely had issues with verbal communication during fun times. I'm convinced that when blood needs diverting to my nether regions, it is taken directly from my inner ear. Ha 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 ha, oh no. Geez, that could make things difficult. Sorry to do this, but carrot big fart, tired face, tired face, tired face, tired face. Tired face, tired face. Ah no, ha 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 ha. Geez, yay. Not my best showing and certainly not the last time. Thank you to the anonymous who gave me my first, I think, wholesome award. Exclamation mark. Wish I would have saved mine and given it to you. Today I fucked up by telling my boss I'd drink his menstrual juice. Today I fucked up by telling my boss I'd drink his menstrual juice. So if you all have seen the movie Midsummer or not, so I'll give a little background. I recently watched this movie, 2 nights ago, with my girlfriend, her first time and my second. The movie deals with a specific midsummer ceremony of a cult in Sweden. There are many strange and fucked up rituals portrayed, but one of them deals with love. Part of this love ritual incorporates the consumption of the pubic hair and menstrual flow of a woman. The intended man drinks/eats these things and is then bound to fall in love with said lady. Anyways, tonight I received a gushy goodnight message from my girlfriend that ended with her saying, "I must have consumed one of your pubes because I've most definitely fallen for you. Super cute if you understand the context, weird otherwise. Anyways, my subsequent super cute response then was, if you ate one of my pubic hairs, I must have drank your menstrual juice. Sleep tight my love, I'll talk to you tomorrow. 5 minutes go by and my phone lights up. I look down and see that my boss, 76-year-old man, just sent me a series of emojis: flushed face, scared face, vomiting face. He has never used an emoji when texting me. As you have probably surmised by now, instead of sending what would have been a cute response to my girlfriend, my boss received probably the most disturbing text of his life at 10 p.m. I died a little bit last night. I rapid fire sent out my apologies and tried to explain myself. I told him that I don't actually drink menstrual juice and that the message was intended for someone else. His response to my apologies was, please, dear God, do not let _ dream of me. So, I've got work tomorrow and I'll be right alongside boss. It's just gonna be him and I in the cellar. I make wine all day. I'm praying that our work relationship has not been completely jeopardized. Positive energy appreciated. Too long didn't read. Instead of texting my girlfriend, I texted my 76-year-old boss telling him that I must have drank his menstrual juice. Now I've got work tomorrow and it's just him and I all day. I've most likely ruined our work relationship. Hopefully it can be shrugged off and a few jokes made about the red wine. Good luck. Haha, maybe we've just discovered the key to return customers. Oof. I interrupted a law school class to repeat a cum joke I saw on the internet to the whole class, so you're fine. Must have been a good one, huh? You only have one option, you need to fuck your boss. Complete the ritual. If he sent emojis, he's probably not mad and got a good laugh out of it. Someone that old would for sure call you or send a very serious reply if it was a big deal. Haha, that's a better way of looking at it, thanks.